Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 260 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we have a really great architecturally designed house by Fairdangs over at 333 Pebble Beach Drive in Farmers Branch.
And in our second segment today, we're going to talk about 4 things you need to do to be a great landlord.
Very important things that makes you great and also keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah.
Bigly. So we decided to piggyback on that because last week we had a really great one, if you want to go back and listen to it, about why investing is a great opportunity to make some generational wealth. So listen to both of these, and you'll get lots of great ideas.
So at this point in the show, we jump into some things that we find online that are interesting. And this was a really, really cool product that I had never seen before. You were the one that found it, so
I like the idea that it is both architecturally interesting, but also something that you can put in a small space. We have lots of clients that buy a starter condo for themselves or for their loved ones. This is a really great concept, well thought out. The product is a light, high weight aluminum that I believe has been powder coated. So it comes in multiple colors, designed by a German designer. I believe his name is Michael Hygras. So take a look at these, easy to install, not by any means difficult. So.
And what's our second product?
This one is really cool. You sent this one to me. This is Tower Garage Doors. And I wanted to hold on this one picture. We're going to see what they look like when they come up and down in a minute. But I thought this was such an interesting hip roof line. We have actually featured this paneling type material inside houses. I have never seen it outside, and I have never seen it used on the garage door. And I think if I was doing a remodel, this would be something I would lean into. I know the cost would be more, but I think it sets you so far apart from competition.
It really does. It really, I don't know how to describe it. It's a different approach to how your garage door looks that I've only seen a couple of times. When we were looking at this, I was telling him about a house here in Greenway Parks that has something very similar that is just unique.
Yeah, and the video that Zach's going to roll, it kind of shows how it puts together. The material looks like wood, and I believe it's metal. Again, aluminum. There are multiple colors, so depending here, we see a lighter one. Previously, we saw a dark one. It is metal on the inside as well. But as here, it has a really nice modern, but it softens it up and brings more like a San Diego, Southern Cal
Santa
kind
Barbara,
of look.
yeah.
The other thing too is there's also window options on this, so if you want to do that.
And the thing that I was a little concerned about when I first saw it was I thought, ooh, that wood's going to require a lot of maintenance. But as you said, it's aluminum, and the maintenance factor is going to be minimal on it.
The only thing is that it's going to ship from Australia, so budget accordingly.
And our last is not really an item, but it's talking about this woman and her blog post. But she really is incredible at showing you how to measure correctly, how to make sure that how to really use every square inch of your kitchen.
I think it's so critical because when we talk about renovations, master bedrooms and kitchens are the ones where you typically make the most on your turn. The kitchen one, though, although can be extremely expensive, if it's done wrong, it will always register as wrong, and spacing is critical. She does a great job of showing some of the newer products that are coming out as far as storage, but I love the fact that she is clearly saying, this is how wide you need to be from your sink to your island. This is how high you need to be from the bottom of the cooktop to the top of the
vent hood. Yeah.
So this is all very important. The other thing too that I thought was really great is that I believe those cabinets are all from IKEA because she's hashtagged IKEA in this.
Interesting.
So, let us know what you think.
It's interesting that there are so many people that use IKEA products that they kind of complain about them, the quality, but we've seen a lot of IKEA kitchens that really look good and they appear to be holding up very well.
The workaround on IKEA is amazing. The product and the way that they plan for space is hard to beat, and I think that you're going to spot the basic differences on that versus poke and pull, but I think you can get really close a lot of times.
So I just learned this weekend that the United States is the only country that pronounces it IKEA.
What does everybody else pronounce it?
In Sweden, it's Icky. Icky.
Where's the A go? It's silent?
I swear to gosh.
Zach, fact check that, please, and get back to us. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about what's happening in the market because it's so crucial to actually know what's happening here, strip away all the buzz that is actually out there and the chatter, And let's get down to what's happening in Dallas over the last 7 days. So Jeff's going to talk about the first 3 items that are going on.
So coming soons are up 5%. They're up 3 to 68. New coming soons in Dallas County. New active listings are down 2%, which is not a bad number. We've seen that go up quite a bit over the last several weeks. And the first status that when you're going under contract, you usually go into an option period. And the number of contracts that went into option period last week were down 5%, but there were still 282 homes in Dallas County that went into option period last week.
A lot.
It's a lot.
So what happens after the option period has been played out? It's over. Now we move into the pending status, and the pending is actually up 29%. So it looks like we're going to finish with a strong month. That's up 129, which is up 29 units. Solds already this month, we are up over last week. That's plus 9 to 263, up from 22. Now, what we like to see is that solds are not outstripping new activity. It's really important for that to be in that situation. If it gets in the reverse, that's when things get a little overheated in this market and things get a little silly. Right now, we're still looking good. We want to keep it that way. One of the things that we think is contributing to this normalcy in the market is the the stabilization of the mortgage rate. Right now, we are at 6.889. That's just slightly up 0.166 in the conforming. This information is brought to you by Optimal Blue. Optimal Blue has a great website. Click on that and go look at the historic information for those in the conforming rates. Also for FHA Jumbo, 15-year USDA. What else is there, Jeff?
FHA, VAs.
A lot of great information. Take a look at it. Understand what's happening historically. It is so important. Again, I was talking to another agent. He said, I can't figure out how to get this client to not rent. And I said, talk about the appreciation. If he doesn't like the rate, he's not married to it. And he can actually readjust as rates drop.
Keep
that in mind.
Yep, sure can.
So let's talk about 333 Pebble Beach Drive.
So this is a really, as you can tell, the house itself is fantastic, but you're going to see on the map that this is such a fantastic location. It is right on Brookhaven Country Club that backs up right to the golf course. From a getting around point of view, you have so many options to you. Both Josie and Webb Chapel come north and south. You can go all the way up the Beltline. You can hit 35 very easily. It's just, it's a wonderful location.
And when you zoom out and look at the map, just jumping on 635, which is probably a quarter of a mile from here, jumping on 635 heading west, this will actually tee into the north entrance of DFW Airport. If you need to head to Love Field, either toll road or 35. Head south, and probably within 15 minutes you'll be at Love Field. So it's a great international or stateside commuting location.
It's about a mile from Marsh Lane, and you could just go over Marsh Lane and it turns into Lemon and goes right down to the bottom of Love Field.
Beat all the traffic.
Yes, absolutely.
And people, if you are not from Dallas, it is such a thing to think about that we do not have to commute an additional 2 hours, half a day, whatever, to get to an airport. We take it for granted.
And so, as I mentioned earlier, one of the really great things in this neighborhood is the Brookhaven Country Club. Brookhaven, why don't you talk about it?
So Brookhaven is just around the corner, and I will tell you, some guests that watched the show said when I said this around the corner on another piece of property there, said that's not. This literally is around the corner. You're on the golf course. This is they have really leaned in on the trend for pickleball. I believe we have 38 courts there now. They have 2 clay courts. They are very well known for their junior both tennis and also their junior golf there. If you are into the pool and the cabanas, they have all that set up for you. And one of the great things about that is that they have an adult only, so must be 18 years or older. The other pools are there for the infants and also for the all the way up to 18. So take it into consideration. Go by, take a look, call me, let me know. Let's go have a drink at the club.
Yeah, and the food is fantastic. We've been there for lunch several times, and it's really, really good.
It is a good time.
So this, the second thing that we're going to talk about in the area is all of the dining that you've got just within a couple of miles of you. There are over 180 restaurants in that Addison corridor along Beltline Road that you can go from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Absolutely.
Fast food all the way up to a 4-star restaurant.
Absolutely. And if you like Kinney's, let me rephrase this. If you like popovers, you need to go check out Kinney's Wood Fire Grill. It's there. One of the great things too about Kenny's, if you didn't know this, is they have vodka on tap at 32 degrees, making some of the best
Grey Goose vodka
martinis to offer. One of the other things that's in your backyard in this location is that you actually have access to Vitruvian Park. Did I say that right, Jeff? Vitruvian Park. And Vitruvian Park hosts lots of events, and one of the ones that is very well known is called Kaboom Town, and it's on 4th of July. Great fireworks. Oktoberfest is a hit. They have a lot of good time and a lot of fun there. So it's worth checking this out. I've been to a 5K here for, I believe, MS with some friends. So definitely a place that has a lot going on throughout the year.
Vitruvian Park is absolutely beautiful at night. You can see the small picture of it right there. They have an amphitheater there. They do a summer concert series that I've been to a bunch, and it's free. You just bring your folding chair out. It's kind of a raked seating also with just some stones. So if you just want to bring a little pad to sit on, you can do that. But it's really a great addition to the city of Addison.
It's easy to park over there, but also it's super easy to have an Uber drop you off and pick you up.
True.
That is one of the things that I always take into consideration when I'm traveling. How easy is this? This is great.
I've been to every one of those events.
Have you really?
At
You
one
did
time or
taste?
another.
You did taste that?
Yep.
Good for you. Jeff, look at you. All right, let's jump into...
The Columbian Festival is also there July 20th of this year.
Okay, did everybody get that? The Columbian Festival? They didn't have that on the website. How'd you find that?
Well, I've been to it before. It's an annual event that they have, and I went and looked it up real quick.
All right. Well, good. So let's talk about 333 Pebble Beach Drive. This is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, slightly over 3,100 square feet, priced at $1,485,000. It is stunning, and it is architecturally designed by Fair Dank.
So this is a home that you're not going to find anywhere else. Mm-hmm. It is such a unique property. The brick front wall structure is done with the what did you call it? The shimmering brick?
It's like an iridescent black.
Iridescent black.
Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, perfect description. Big, wide open rooms. This living room dining area combo is huge, and look at the wall of glass. I mean, that's how I want to live right there. That's how I want to live.
It is a very nice lifestyle, as you can see here on the left-hand side of the picture. That is a storage called captivate storage, and it is custom cabinetry that is built in. Sweeps around to the kitchen, but again, as Jeff was saying, this is a wonderful open floor plan. As you notice when you're looking at the floors there, this is a heavy aggregate cement that has been polished. So this is one of the elements that really helps you get a higher energy efficient score when this product is used. And as you can see here, this is a great combination of both dining, living, and kitchen.
And the kitchen area in this is island style with the sink in the island. You've got bar seating there, which you can see, but the cabinet, they've taken advantage of every square inch of cabinetry in this. And there is a butler pantry off to the left that you can see into that doorway that I think they did really well because they put countertop space in it. Mm-hmm. So you've got appliances that you can use in there, but you've also got all of that pantry storage.
I like the fact that this is higher end appliances with an induction cooktop, Bosch appliances, and then right here you see directly in front, you have the door that actually takes you to the outside grill that is situated on an Ipe decking system. It is a wonderful indoor-outdoor house, as you can see here. Again, this is a really great shot, again, to show you and highlight how wonderful that aggregate looks. It is perfectly done. I like that the cabinets over that door, or over the window right there, actually act as like a bar if you were serving outside.
So the 4 of the bedrooms are really kind of stacked on each other on one end of the home. This is one of the downstairs bedrooms, and then this is one of the upstairs bedrooms, and they're all back to back. But they're all, I'm going to say exactly, very close to the same size. All have walk-in closets. All have baths en suite. Excuse me, they're Jack and Jill en suite. And then this is a little reading area that the owners have put inside the master bedroom, and it's the color selection that they've made is just really fantastic.
I thought they did a great job with this. We're going to start seeing the wood floors or white oak that were used throughout the upstairs. They vaulted the ceilings here. One of the things that's really hard to capture in the photos is the orientation of the windows to elements of interest that pose outside. So whether it's that you're looking at the green here from the master, or others. As you see, this is another section of the master bedroom going into the master bath. Double vanities, but they actually used a third mirror there, which was interesting. And they also did the entire wall on the right-hand side of tile that kind of ties in both the tub with the shower and the flooring as well.
And I really like the fact that they put the shower on the end by the window, because the shower is really, I think, what you're going to use more, and having the outside coming in was just really cool.
Large windows throughout most of the bedrooms. This one right here actually looks over the golf course as well. This is directly lined up, I believe, with portions of the decking. This is coming back downstairs, and if we went out those sliding doors that we saw in the initial pictures, you would walk out directly onto this e-pave floor, and it has this really great sunken gas fireplace there, or fire pit in the center, that I thought was really well done.
Goldmark Pools did the pool for them, did a phenomenal job, very modern design. As you can see, a hot tub on this one end of it, and you do have the ability to heat the entire pool if you want. I was really impressed with this structure.
I already sent it to another set of our clients because I thought it was so smart. That louver system right there opens and closes based on the temperature and the weather. It also comes pre-wired with electricity, so ceiling fans and lighting also become an asset. And then this is your outdoor dining and outdoor oven. I thought this was so smartly laid out.
And that where the grill is, that all can be moved around. And so if you didn't like that configuration of it, you could certainly have a different configuration of it. This was a really good view that gives you a good feel of what the property is.
It's so important because of the way that Faraday actually orientated this to using the northern windows. So again, let's recap. This is 3333 Pebble Beach Drive. It's a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, built in 2019, just over 3,100 square feet, priced at $1,485,000, and that brings us right in at $472 a square foot.
And $472 for a piece of art like that, that's really a great deal.
This house, you have got to go see it in person. It is really difficult to capture the nuances that make this so special, whether it's the windows in the garage that actually don't look like a garage from the front.
Yeah.
The courtyard orientation of the house, north, south, east, west, it all is thought out. We want to say thank you so much to Aaron Harrell for allowing us to feature this home.
So if you'd like to see the other pictures, just click on the links below. We'll have them all down there. And if there are any other properties you'd like to see, just let us know. We'll do it.
And with that, we're going to be right back.
Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you missed the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. It's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second segment, episode 260 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh, and today we thought we would visit with you a little bit about 4 steps to being a great, not a good, great landlord.
The first step to being a great landlord is be aware of fair housing laws. It is critically important. It's not only important for us as a community, it's just good policy and good procedure.
And the thing is, I feel like you could step on one of these landmines even with good intent, and it could become a problem. So there are both the fair housing laws that need to be
followed, adhered to.
Yes, and then there are also landlord-tenant laws.
Mm-hmm.
And those are to be really familiar, because there are some times when you're going to be extremely emotional about a situation that's taking place, and you're going to think, I'm going to lock them out or X, Y, and Z because of back. And there are really huge issues that you can be held accountable for if that is done.
Number two, great thing to do to be a great landlord is to have a maintenance program in place for your property. Have a maintenance program in place to have your air filters changed. Have a maintenance program in place to have your sprinkler system tested every year. Have your HVACs cleaned and serviced every year. It's just like your home has to have care to maintain the quality that it is.
I think there's a couple of things too, because when you're doing your maintenance, you're also getting to do an inspection. So this allows you to kind of keep an eye on and make sure that the tenant is respecting the house in the way that it was agreed upon within the contract. It also allows you to budget for large ticket items. So if you're beginning to realize that that HVAC unit is beginning to have a little trouble, this would be a good time to begin anticipating. Yeah. The other thing too is, like, indirectly, I feel like oftentimes tenants leave because the landlord has given up on the property. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing worse than the actual property being vacant. Mm-hmm. That throws all of your numbers off. So staying ahead of it and doing this small amount to keep that tenant in there for 2, 3, 10 years, mm-hmm. that is when investment really begins to pay off.
I totally agree. Number three is, when you have a tenant that's applying, use a reputable screening service to do the background check, do the criminal check, do the check writing history. Use a reputable service for it. There are a lot of them out there. We have one that we use we like really well, and if you would like to know more about that, please just reach out to us.
Because there's nothing worse than getting a bad tenant, mm-hmm. and there's nothing harder to get rid of than a bad tenant.
Yeah, I agree.
So do your due diligence and make those phone calls and follow up, figure out who this person is before you say yes and sign a contract.
And the last point we want to bring up was, when you are renovating the house or preparing it for rent or just getting it ready, the quality of product that you choose to do that with is going to help you get higher rents. You said something really earlier that made a lot of sense to me. And
I think that you have to look at the rental property and actually finish it out as if you would your own home. Because when people see it as a home and not just a rental, mm-hmm. the person that you're going to get in there is willing to stay longer, as we talked about how important that is, but also pay that higher rent. And that is one of those key things, because if you can start at that higher rent and keep moving forward incrementally, that's great. But if you're at a lower number over 12 months, that is a mm-hmm. huge ding. Yeah. And it really makes like maintenance issues and stuff like that become a lot more of a... There's a higher chance that you could be in the red when those mm-hmm. things come about. And
you have a higher quality tenant, I think, mm-hmm. because if your product is really good, you're going to have a lot of interest in it, which means you're going to have the ability to select the best tenant, the one that's got the background, the one that's got the income to support yep. it, that you just really have a choice. And like Weston said, keeping tenants in those places long term is what really generates the appreciation of the revenue.
Yeah, if you tell me I have the difference between having someone who's going to pay me like $100 more because they're only going to be in it for a year because they're doing a remodel, versus a family would pay $100 less, but they've got kids that are going to go to the elementary school and they're in kindergarten, mm-hmm. I'm going to take the family all day long. I want them to be in there for 5 years. Mm-hmm. That's just mm-hmm. kind of the way I would look at it.
So we hope you found that helpful. If there is anything in this that you have any questions about, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. If there's any topics you want us to discuss, please reach out. We do that too.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Woo! When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.